Are you a serial procrastinator with massive goals, massive ambitions, but for some reason, every single time you sit down to try and do some sort of work and achieve your goals, it feels like you're hitting your head against a brick wall and you find every single thing other than the thing you know you need to do to spend your time, energy, and effort on. Here's 5 perspective shifts that I've used to go from completely emotionally and financially broke at 21 to then financially free, traveling the world at 23 years old to then making my first million by 28. So if you're someone who's an early stage entrepreneur or someone just with goals and ambitions that you want to actually achieve and you find yourself procrastinating, this is the episode for you. You may be wondering, why are you actually procrastinating? If you've ever asked yourself the question, why do you keep procrastinating? You know what you need to actually do, but for some reason you just don't do it. From my research and over 9 years now of studying human behavioral psychology, neuroscience, and people, and the science of success and science of achieving, what I've noticed is most people procrastinate for multiple different reasons. Some people might be afraid. Some people have the fear of success. Some people might have the fear of failure. And what happens is there's so much confusion happening up here with our limiting beliefs, imposter syndrome, our value system, or perhaps it's just our programming we've had from such a young age. Maybe we never grew up in a family that were overachievers, high achievers, or anything who we want to be like. So we've learned and we've been conditioned in ways to actually not go after our goals when in fact we have this burning desire inside of us to actually do it. Or maybe you've got no clarity. Maybe you don't actually know what your next steps are. You don't know the big picture. You don't know what you're actually doing. If you take action, what do you actually put it towards? Maybe you're sitting yourself at home. Maybe before you go and actually do something, you get inside your own head and you doubt yourself. You doubt your ability. You doubt your success. You have the imposter syndrome that creeps in, telling you things like, who are you? You can't do this, so on and so forth. No matter whatever the reason is, everyone's the same. We all go through things like this where we actually have to battle our mind and overcome the obstacles that are inside of us to actually achieve the goals. So I want to give you 5 perspective shifts that you can take right now and actually start to reframe whatever's happening up here so you can actually start to get into action. So let's get right into it. Number 1 is action is the cure to all self-doubt. Literally, the more you do, the less you think. The less you think, the less you doubt. The less you doubt, the more you do. So what actually happens is when you're in momentum, when you're taking action towards the things, you're moving so freaking fast that you don't have time to think. If you ever gotten yourself into a really fast car or a fast bike or something like that, and you're absolutely breaking the speed limit, you're going so freaking fast, you're not thinking about anything else happening on the road except for where your hands are and making sure that your car doesn't slip off the road. The only thing you'll focus on is the next step because you're in so much freaking action where your brain has actually been silenced and it's only thinking about survival. So the more action you actually take, the less chitter chatter happening up here, the less doubt you're gonna have, the less you're gonna feel like waking up and being like, oh, who am I to actually do this today? I can't do this. What am I gonna do? You just gotta get into some type of action and do something towards the goals you actually have, and it's gonna help deteriorate the self-doubt. The less you do, the more you think. The more you think, the more you doubt. The more you doubt, the less you actually do. So the more noisy it is up here, the less action you're actually taking. So action is the actual cure to self-doubt. So one of the reasons why you might be procrastinating is because you're just doubting your ability to freaking do it. But here's the thing, you're never actually going to have self-confidence until you just try, attempt, fail forward and do something. So then you can look back on the thing you've done and actually build some self-esteem and self-confidence from it and be like, damn, I am pretty damn good because I actually gave it a shot. So a lot of people are waiting for the self-confidence to come before they take action, when in fact, you've got to just take courageous action and then the confidence will then follow that. Confidence only comes after you've done something totally badass. So whatever that thing is, you know you've been putting off, just go and do that now. Number 2 is ready, fire, aim. Literally, this has been the mentality I've had for a very long time. And I was talking to one of my mentees this week actually about it. And she said, when you told me the other day to just ready, fire, aim, I realized that's where I've been going wrong. Because all week, all month actually, I've been getting myself into this freaking crisis, thinking that I'm lost, I don't know what to do, I'm confused. Therefore, all she did was procrastinate on her goals because she was getting ready to get ready, to get ready, to get ready, to get ready. And we all know that that leads to absolutely freaking nowhere. So the best thing you can actually do is just wake yourself up and go, okay, I'm ready, go. Take action and then aim, then course correct, figure out where you're going. Because think about this. A plane takes off from Brisbane Airport and it heads to LAX. What are the chances of that plane taking off in the exact direction that it's got to land in LAX to the degree? next to impossible, right? And even if it is possible, then let's switch airports. Let's say it's flying to Vancouver. It's not going to be possible anymore, right? But what it actually does is the plane, the pilot gets in the plane. It knows its vehicle. It knows its checks. It gets ready, and all the plane does is get off the ground. It's the only goal the pilot has to begin with. Let's just get this plane off the ground, and then let's course correct when we're in the air for where we actually want to get to. So if you've been procrastinating because you've been thinking about, well, I need to get it all ready first. I need to get all my ducks in a row before I take action. I need to connect all the dots looking forward before I take action. Stop it and just take action right now where you are. And as you're going, keep course correcting along the way and find which way works, which way doesn't work, and do that all through feedback. Trial and error. It's gonna be the best way for you to actually get closer to what it is you actually want. What's up, Dream Nation? Have you ever wondered how far ahead your life would have already been if you had got access to this type of content at a younger age? Look, this is why I need your help. I'm trying to build the #1 personal development platform out there to teach you guys the tips, tricks, and attitude of what it takes to live your dream life, and to bring the type of education that we all wish we had in school. This show only grows by word of mouth and new subscribers, so it would mean the world to me if you could smash that subscribe button right now, leave us a 5-star written review, or drop a comment below and share this episode with a friend. I would be forever grateful. All right, now let's get back into this episode. Which leads me into number 3, which is there is no such thing as failure. A lot of people have a fear of failing when in fact, failure doesn't even exist. It is only feedback. Every single time you have a failure, it's providing you with data, it's providing you with information on what didn't go well. But all of this actually stemmed from when we were in school. If you think back to when you were in school and you tried a subject, you tried a test, you tried to do something and you failed the subject, what would happen? You'd get in trouble. You'd get punished. You'd have to resit the class, resit the test. Maybe you get in detention or whatever, right? So what actually started happening at a young age, you started to associate failure as punishment. No one wants to be punished. In fact, the brain will do anything to avoid pain before it does anything to gain pleasure. So if it associates failure as something that it doesn't want, then it's going to avoid any chance of failure forever. But you and I both know that achieving massive results in your life, achieving your goals, reaching that next level is going to require some aspects of perceived failure. But you and I both know that failure has nothing to actually do with your success now, because you need to fail as fast, as hard, and as often as you possibly can, because that is going to be the fastest way for you to collect as much data of what's working, what's not working, so you can continually course correct your way to success. So think about this. The only way that you can actually fail at anything in this world is for you to just completely give up and admit that you're defeated. So until then, keep on going. So I want you to form an amazing relationship. I want you to form a love life with failure. I want you to start to actually feel so good every single time something doesn't work that you start to say to yourself, amazing, I've now found one more way where it didn't work. Seriously though, people who give up when things don't work, it's literally like taking a boat from Australia to New Zealand, getting 2/3 of the way there, and then saying, this is too hard, I'm just gonna go back. It makes no freaking sense. It's like the man, you've probably seen this man, the picture online goes around Instagram, the guy digging for gold, and he gets so close away from it. And then he just gives up. And then right above it is a picture of a guy that just kept going, and he actually got struck gold because he just kept going. You never know how close you are to actually succeeding and having that breakthrough in your life. So if you quit when you had a little failure, a little setback, and you think that's your ultimate failure, then you'll never actually get to where it is you want to go. So every single time you have a setback, every single time you have a failure, just reframe it in your mind, that knowing that you're actually one step closer to it actually working now. Therefore, every failure is actually closer to what it is you want. So celebrate every single time it doesn't work for you. Number 4, this one has been a game changer for me. This is my attitude for everything. Ready? Done is better than perfect. People get stuck waiting for it to be perfect before they actually take action. One of the things that stops a lot of people is they're perfectionists. They're waiting. It's got to be amazing. I can't put out content until it's the best content in the entire freaking world. If you scroll back to one of my first videos on YouTube, and in fact, I actually keep it up because I want this to be a lesson for people, it's a big, gigantic pile of shit. And I knew it was shit when I put it out, but guess what? Done was better than perfect. I just wanted to get something out because I kept going. We kept getting better and kept getting better. And then eventually now we're producing some pretty cool content. And guess what? 12 months from now, the content's gonna be even better because we've just got this mentality that done is better than perfect. Yes, we have standards. Yes, we don't put out shit. We have a standard that's gotta meet that, and you should too. However, if you're not taking action towards the thing you want to take action towards because you're waiting for it to be perfect, you're gonna be waiting forever. So adopt the mentality that done is better than perfect. Actually start doing the things you know you need to do because that is going to make you a hell of a lot better along the way. There was a story of two groups of people actually, and someone came in and he said to the first person, I want you to make the perfect vase. I want you to make the perfect vase, and they're gonna make it out of ceramics, right? And he goes to two groups of people. You guys, your job is to make the perfect vase, and I'm gonna come back in 1 year, and I'm gonna buy the best one. Okay? So what happened was the first team, they waited and they measured everything and they calculated everything properly and they got everything ready. They got all their tools ready and they took their time. They took the entire year to make this pot and then it was done. And the second team, what they did, they just had the goal to make as many pots as they possibly could. And they went through 10,000 pots. And then the man comes back 1 year. Guess who had the better pot? The people who waited and tried to make the perfect pot, or the people who just failed 10,000 times and actually had the experience from being professional pot makers? Of course, it was the people who made the most. So get out there and actually just fail as fast and as hard as you can and just focus on actually getting the task at hand done because that action in itself will make you better along the way. And the last one, number 5, is paradoxically to number 4 is everything is actually perfect. Because think about this. Can you think of a time in your life where something happened to you or an event happened, a girlfriend broke up with you or a failure in your business or something happened where at the time you thought this was the worst thing that could ever happen to you? And at the time you're thinking, I don't want this to ever happen. Please go away. Why me? Or whatever. But now you look back on that event and I ask you a question. Would you change that event if you could now? Most people will say no. And most people would say, no, I don't want to change the past. Because why? Because it taught you something. It made you someone who you are today. That event gave you a lesson. That event gave you learnings. It helped build resilience. It helped teach you to stay away from those people or to trust these people or not trust those. Whatever it is, you got a massive learning from it, true? Which means this, at the time of it happening, you would say it was not perfect. But now looking back on the event, you would say that it's absolutely actually 100% perfect. Therefore, everything happening in your life right now is 100% perfect in and of itself. Even if it's good, even if it's bad and ugly, it is absolutely perfect. Why? Because life is happening for you, not to you. So if you're procrastinating because you're in a shitty situation right now, know that it's actually gonna get better, but know that this is happening for you to teach you the things that you need to learn so you can overcome them again in the future. So if you're looking to really beat procrastination, take this one to the bank. And just know that everything is absolutely perfect. So get out there and just give it your 100% what you have today. Because your 100% today is gonna be different from 100% tomorrow. So as long as you go to bed every single night knowing that you just gave it your absolute best, that's what's gonna keep you in action and keep you actually striving forward towards the things you actually want. All right, guys, there you have it. That's another episode done. If you got value from this, I would love it if you guys subscribed, liked, shared this, did all those sorts of things so this channel can keep on growing and we can get more of this value out to more people. We got a goal here to build the #1 education platform to teach you guys the things that you should have learned in school. And it goes such a long way if you guys like, subscribe, and do all that stuff so this channel can grow because it only grows by word of mouth. So if you got value from this, give it to a friend, drop a comment below, do all those sorts of things, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. And until then, go out there and dream out loud.